Right then, this is a quick road test video to make sure the video is working good. For a Volvo 1.6 SE Lux Nav for navigation. This particular car is registered, if I can read it off there, AD12ATU, and mileage at 76,936 miles. Reason for the video is basically so that if you're looking at the car online in an advert, you actually get to see that very car in operation. You know, it can be quite frustrating to look at a car or test drive a car which has an issue with it, which you clearly should have been told about before setting off. So hence that's why we do it. Brief background to this particular vehicle, because we are pretty much Honda specialists through and through. This is obviously a car that's come in as a part exchange to us. Very nice one actually, I mean, very nicely looked after as well. And we've sold loads of V40s before, so we were very happy to, because they've always been very good to us. And they're just lovely cars, in all honesty. This particular car starts absolutely instantly. Press of a button, obviously keyless start on there. Settles to completely smooth, even idle. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car. It's stone cold at the moment, so temperature gauge is not reading yet, but I'll come to that later in the video. Engines are very, very, very refined. It's always been a hallmark of this particular car. Lovely units and ridiculously fuel efficient as well. I mean, to get less than 70 miles per gallon, you must be doing something really daft as an average. I've got people who've had them getting over 75, even as high as 80, believe it or not. So, I mean, they are an amazingly efficient engine. But as I said, one of the smoothest diesels and quietest diesels you'll drive as well. Engine then feeds through clutch and into gearbox. Clutch absolutely perfect, bite points exactly where it should be on the pedal travel, and it's light and smooth and positive in actuation as well. Just going to wait here a second. The cyclist's doing. Gearbox, all the gear changes, really lovely, smooth. It's a really good gearbox. Remember, Volvo gear changes weren't always the best in the past. But these V40s are absolutely superb gearboxes in terms of the way they feel, the gear linkage and the quality of gear selection as well. It really is a fabulous gearbox. All the gears changing exactly as they should. Apologise, it's sun's low in the sky and a wet road makes for very glary videos. I do apologise, and it's the only hole in the cloud where it's managed to poke through, which is rather unfortunate, but there we are. But as I said, I can't find any slack in that gear change at all. It's absolutely like some of the very low mileage ones we were sold in the past. Steering on the car, very nicely weighted, very accurate, precise. So I got Father Christmas on a tandem bike in front, or Mr. and Mrs. Christmas up there. But again, it feels really tight and taut. Can't feel any wear in the steering at all. Easy. I drove it the other day, and it tracks absolutely bullet straight. There's no wobble through the steering at this speed, any speed up to the legal limit either. So all absolutely as it should be. It's also one of the nicer power steering systems because it's just so well weighted, but it flows to the corners, and the chassis is really nice in that respect as well, because it offers a very comfortable, compliant ride, but very nice, neat handling car. There's also no nasty noises coming from the suspension underneath when you hit a bump. You hear it hit and bump like that one there, but no sort of rattles or anything. It feels lovely and solid and secure on the road. Brakes on the car, I'm just going to give those a bit of a shove, but I'm not going to do it too hard because I've got a man behind me. But the brakes are lovely. Solid brake pedal, no pulsing, no vibrations coming back through the brake pedal at all, and it pulls it up nice and straight and true as well. I think there must be some charity cycle event on because everyone's dressed up in the Christmas stuff doing this today. Braver people than I. Looking around inside the car, it's not been cleaned yet, but it's going to be hopefully in a couple of days' time after the weekend. But in very nice condition in here. They're very well made as well. There's no creaks, rattles or anything. The V40s are very nicely put together cars. A lovely colour combination in here as well. Very tastefully done. Adds a lot of lightness to the interior car. Black leather is lovely, of course, but it can feel quite gloomy, especially in cars like this, because it's nice and compact and confined, and I like that about the car. But the black interiors can feel a little bit claustrophobic. This just brings a lot of sort of much more natural light into the vehicle to the colours of the seats, and all in very, very nice condition in here as well. So swing around here. So we have a traffic light up there, and I don't want to be sat talking about nothing at all. Now it's got a few options on this car from what I understand that isn't standard. I know it's got the heated seats, it's got some parking sensor bits and bobs, and goodness knows other little buttons there as well, which again I'm not entirely sure whether they're actually standard or not. Heated screen, so it may well have the winter pack, but I'm not a Volvo expert. You know, I know my Hondas very well indeed. I know they come with different packs. It's got some little bliss, what they call it on there. There must be some little warning system built into it as well. So a very, very nicely spec'd car, and this car is priced way below its true value because we want to keep our website clear for our Honda cars, basically. If this was on a Volvo forecourt, it would be a lot more expensive than the price we're selling it for, certainly. But the point of the video is just to show it in operation and to pick up on any issues. Interior is in lovely condition. Temperature gauge, by the way, now running at just over, well, between a third and a half, which is exactly where it should be with one of these cars. Everything's working exactly as intended as well. So it really is a lovely, lovely example.